Hello people, welcome. Welcome to everyone that's joined me so far. If you can just give me a thumbs up to let me know that the audio and the video is good. I've done a stream in the past for a small select group of people and I did it for an hour before I realized that it wasn't actually working. And I was just streaming to myself. The suspense is killing me. I've done a stream in the past for a small select group. Alright, I will give it a minute or two. It's almost time to start. It's working. Awesome. I can hear you. Oh shit, that jumped up quick. We've got 50 people streaming. Doug, Carl, welcome gentlemen. Kingston, yes, someone did submit a fernet cocktail. I've got one on the list. Okay, who submitted the smoke cocktail? Welcome Austin, welcome Adam. Alright guys, we've got 50 plus people on the live stream, so it's bang on 10 AM, so good morning. I'm keen to get stuck into some cocktails and provide some feedback to everyone that submitted a cocktail. I had over, well not over, it might be over 100 now, so roughly about 100 cocktail submissions. So unfortunately I can't do them all. I'll probably do about 10 cocktails today. And the first like 10 or 20 drinks that were submitted, I was actually quite worried because the drinks sounded really good. And I wanted an even mix of good and bad drinks, so therefore I can actually roast cocktails. I can turn around and say, this is shocking for this reason, for X, Y, Z. And the first bunch of drinks were just, they look great and I wanted to taste them all. So there's some doozies in there in the list today. I'll see if you guys can spot them. I don't mean to offend anyone, but I'm going to be honest. If it's not to my cup of tea, then I'll tell you. A lot of the cocktails, I discovered that a lot of the cocktails that were submitted, like people seem to have really sweet tooths. Probably about 30% of the cocktails that were submitted were didn't seem very well balanced on paper, but a few of them we'll try. So, where do you get that mug? This mug, it's a quote from the Espresso Martini, wake me up and then fuck me up. I actually had these custom printed. I held an Espresso Martini festival many years ago and I had these as a promotional thing. All right, so I'm gonna get straight into the list, guys. I'll pull it up. So the first cocktail, as you can see, is going to be smoked. This person has thrown all the ingredients at it, thrown different techniques to add layers of complexity. This one's the Nature's Grasp. And the description is thorny brambles slowly advance towards you. So ingredients being dry gin, elderflower liqueur. Now you can probably tell this elderflower liqueur is considerably darker. I've had it for a while. I've had it out of the fridge. But to be fair, I think the state of my Saint Germain is not going to make or break this cocktail. We have averna amaro, green chartreuse. It did call for blue curacao. Sorry, I'm off the screen now. It did call for blue curacao. I don't have any. Well, I can't find my bottle. So I'm using an alternative orange liqueur. So I'm using Luxardo Triple Sec. Got my blowtorch because the cocktail is smoked. And before I get started into this cocktail, I have to let you guys know that all the proceeds, if there's any super chats, if there's any donations, any ad revenue, anything like that, any money raised, any revenue, will go to Heart Support Australia. For those who have been following me for a while, will know that I underwent open heart surgery going back 8 months ago. So I wanted to try and raise some money to show support for Heart Support Australia. Heart Support Australia is the peak body in Australia that provides support post-operative patients to essentially prevent secondary cardiac events. So yeah, it means a lot to me. So if you guys have the means to, and if you would like to, I'll have a link in the pinned comment as well as the description to make a donation. I'll be 100% transparent, and I'll be sharing the details with the CEO. I'll be incredibly proud of whatever I raise, so therefore I will post it on social media and on YouTube and everything like that. So I'll be donating some myself. Haven't been working much the last 8 months, so I don't know how much, but I'll work that out. But hopefully we can raise a bit of money here. But that's the whole point of this video, is to raise awareness for Heart Support Australia. And also it's the it's the first episode that we're going to be doing. I will do this on a regular basis. If you guys submitted a cocktail and it wasn't featured in this video, don't stress. I will save that list and more submissions will come through, and I'll continuously be picking from that list. So fingers crossed yours gets picked in the future. Just have a quick check. Welcome Progress Bar. Welcome Marco, Taryn, Jaden. Morning from the Alice Springs. Okay, let's get onto this cocktail. This one sounds very interesting. I always like sorting my ingredients by the largest ingredient. All right, it's a stirred cocktail. Has me worried. Where's my jigger? A bit disorganized this morning. I'm always disorganized before a live stream. Green chartreuse. So this one's the Nature's Grasp. 1.5 ounces. Now, that's a lot of green chartreuse. That's a shitload of green chartreuse. And I 100%, I'm not sure if a few of these cocktails that were submitted were joke cocktails, because I looked at them and I'm like, what the shit is this? London Dry Gin. 3 Folds London Dry. We launched this one very recently. 3/4 of an ounce. So green chartreuse, gin, 3/4 of an ounce of elderflower liqueur. Add some sweet floral notes, a little bit of an acidic pop to it as well. And then averna amaro. This is like a wacky ingredients list. 1/4 ounce. And then we have blue curacao, or in my case, triple sec. 1/4 ounce. And wait for this last ingredient, guys. Hey, Jess, Savage Kitchen. Welcome. And last ingredient, 3/4 of an ounce of oregano syrup, or for some people that would be watching, oregano syrup. See, like I said, there's so many drinks on that were submitted that are just like sugar bombs, absolute sugar bombs. And this, I mean, you got, it's still 55%, but it's got a lot of sugar in it. It's got sugar, it's got sugar, it's got sugar. You got sugar syrup. This is going to be, it's got a lot of sugar, basically. Make sure I follow the instructions. I don't want to mess things up. So stirred, strained over ice into rocks glass, and it's smoked as well, and garnished with a rosemary sprig. Is anyone excited by this cocktail? Let me know in the comments. This has to be a meme cocktail. It's got some funny smells coming off it, guys. For sure. I wasn't even paying attention to how long I was stirring. I'm too amused by the ingredients list. It's quite a large volume as well. There we go. Raise your hand with like a little hand emoji if you would order this in the bar. And now it's time to add some complexity to the drink. So we'll add a little, this one's applewood. So some wood chips. I bought this smoker, and I've got another giant smoker as well, with the goal of doing a like smoked cocktails video. And that was this is the first time I've used this, I think. Alrighty. And it's clear that it's the first time I've used this. Alrighty. Let it sit there and infuse for a little bit. All right, ready for the magic? Wow. So I've got like a 40 square meter studio, so it's relatively small. And if I ever, I've used my other smoker, and if I use that, it just absolutely stinks out the studio for a good week. Garnish with a rosemary sprig. They have Nature's Grasp. Nice colour to it. Looks like a Godfather or something. That is incredibly weird. I think there's just such a mix of random ingredients. Like this, I don't want to offend, but I hope this is not a serious submission, because it seems like someone's just put every single ingredient in and thrown a couple of techniques in there. If it is serious, I apologize, and you might be new to cocktails, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't want to offend someone. There's so much sugar in this. It's super sweet. Chartreuse just dominates, but chartreuse with averna, it's this muddied mix of flavors. That's just a super strange cocktail. A lot of funky flavors going on there. Thank you for your submission. I'm like, I wanted to stay true to the title of the video, the roast my cocktail, and be really harsh, but being harsh doesn't come naturally to me. Porrick, YouTube takes 30% of any donation. Yes, sorry, that's a very, very good point. I should have mentioned that first. So with the, if you donate and if you do a super chat, YouTube will take 30%. That's why I've provided an alternate link in the pinned comment, as well as in the description if anyone does want to donate. And then there's only like a 1.5% payment fee, and the rest will go to Heart Sport Australia. Thank you for mentioning that. Thank you for the reminder. All right. Oh, so it's so smoky in here. Next cocktail is the Dirty Diana. Love the name. Dirty Diana is vodka, using threefold vodka, amaretto, fernet, Lemon juice, lime juice. Apologise for my really hideous lemon and lime juice containers. They're the only half-litre bottles that I had. I was doing a video yesterday on an alternative to super juice, so stay tuned for that one. I think that'll be a good one. And then we have simple syrup and mint leaves. Right, shaken, double strained into a coupe, and a mint leaf floated for the garnish. Interesting mix of ingredients on this one, as quite a few of them are. But yeah, I really wanted to try it because it's got fernet in it, and it's like a sour kind of format. I would never think to mix vodka and fernet, or vodka and Disaronno for that matter, but so this was first created for a cocktail competition using vodka. So there you go, that's the exact reason why there's vodka in it. And the person who submitted this used pretty much all the ingredients that they had in the fridge. So that's how the cocktail came about. That was the inspiration. Open the door and grab what's in front of you. 1 ounce of your favourite vodka. Bit of promo in there. 1 ounce of amaretto. See how much sugar? There's not too much. There's only a little bit of simple, so should be more balanced than a lot of the other recipes that were submitted. 20 ml, 2/3 of an ounce of fernet. That's a fair bit of fernet. And then we have lemon and lime juice, 1/2 ounce of each. So this is a fake lemon and lime juice, created with acids, and it's incredible. And I'll say it's better than super juice. It's like using a similar technique to super juice, but I think it's improved. Better mouthfeel, and the flavours are more rounded. So you're gonna have to stay tuned to that video. Should be coming out in a couple of weeks. I'm dropping everything. 1/3 of an ounce of simple. I'm going a little bit less because there's actually a semi-rich, so 1.5 parts sugar to 1 part water. All right. If anyone's tried an industry sour, which is a fernet sour essentially, it's going to look like that. It's just like swamp water, which can't be helped if you're making a sour with fernet. It's going to look not the prettiest. Right. The ferment smells strong. Yeah, see what I mean? See that colour? Ugh. Ain't pretty, but that's just the ingredients. Don't blame the creator. I bought myself, you can't see me, I'm off camera. I bought myself a milk jug rinser, and the thing is amazing. Rinse your shakers in seconds. Garnish with a mint leaf. See, apart from the colour, it looks nice. It's got a good texture. It's got a little bit of foam on top. Yeah, I think that is well presented. Grey Goose, fave vodkas, anyone? I'm just going to continually check in on this just to make sure that the video is working. They have, what one was this called? The Dirty Diana. There's definitely a clash between the amaretto and the fernet. It's a little bit, it's disjointed. Those two particular ingredients in this sour format don't really work for me. I mean, the vodka just creates a sort of blank canvas, and it's primarily these two coming through. That provides a fair bit of sweetness. In saying that, this is also at a lower ABV compared to literally everywhere else in the world, because they want to save on taxes, because Australian taxes are crazy expensive. The fernet is the dominant ingredient. It clashes a bit, but it's not the worst cocktail I've had. All right. It's me, Cara. What's your favourite vodka? Rum. Next one is inspired by the paper plane. It's the paper Reindeer, a Christmas spiced paper plane served on the rocks. Served on the rocks? I didn't even notice that when I was writing out my list. All right, there's... So, paper plane being bourbon whiskey, amaro, Aperol, and lemon juice. But this one, just have to double check. So we have rye whiskey, Cherry Heering, Drambuie, Aperol, Allspice Dram. If anyone's got some uses for Drambuie, let me know, because I found a full bottle that was unopened in my cupboard. Lemon juice and orange bitters. So stirred. This is an interesting stirred drink. All right, how many people do we have on? Woo, almost 150. Thank you for joining me, guys. Hope you enjoy the new format of this video, roasting people's drinks. Let me know if you do. Give me a thumbs up. All right, stirred drink. It's inspired by the paper plane, but it's still sort of, I mean, you don't really have that strong, no, it's Aperol and, sorry, ignore me. Sorry, I'm thinking of the, there was an original version of the paper plane which actually called for Campari. Let's just ignore that whole waffle. 1 ounce of rye whiskey, and then half an ounce of Cherry Heering. See, I do like simplicity in cocktails, and I find that a lot of people try and overcomplicate it and throw everything at it, put too many ingredients in. And I'm saying that just because there's obviously a long list of, I think we've got like 7 odd ingredients here. Half an ounce of Drambuie. So Cherry Heering, cherry liqueur, Drambuie, a Scotch whiskey, spiced, honeyed kind of herbal liqueur. Aperol, half an ounce. Citrusy, bitter, grapefruit kind of notes to it. The baby brother of Campari, I guess you could call it. Allspice Dram, only 1/4 ounce, because as most people know, if you put in some Allspice Dram, it tends to really dominate a drink. 1/4 ounce. Lion's Tail. That's a fantastic drink with pimento drink. And then we've got 3/4 ounce of lemon juice. This is where it goes a little bit weird for me, because we're stirring it. I mean, no, oh my God. I'm reading the instructions from a different drink. I can't edit that out either. I thought that was, I thought that was weird. It's a shake and drink. This is why I love editing, guys. You can't see my mistakes. Orange bitters, 3 dashes. This is a Japanese dasher bottle, so triplet. That was lucky. Lucky I didn't stir that down, serve it, and then grill it. Shake with ice. Strain over a large cube into a double rocks. Garnish with grated nutmeg. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to shake whilst I'm walking. So I grab my rocks out of the freezer. I'll be right back, but I won't be far. I really need to get a mini freezer that is literally like just off camera as opposed to having it on the other side of the studio. But that would make sense. Bit murky looking based on those ingredients. Detail. All right. Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't stir that drink. And garnish with grated nutmeg. Oh, the one ingredient that I didn't have. Ready to go. Yeah, so sorry for those that took the time to submit a cocktail and I can't make your drinks. There were so many submissions that contained ingredients that I just can't get a hold of, unfortunately. So I like it. I like it so far. I like the grated nutmeg garnish. I like that it's served over a nice big cube. I think it looks great. It's a little bit murky, but yeah, that's a good looking drink. There's a lot of ingredients in there, but it's meant to be a Christmas spiced inspired paper plane. It is what it says on the tin. It's a it's Christmas spices. I quite enjoy that. Now I think that if I was to move forward with this cocktail, I would experiment by taking ingredients out and like one at a time and try and simplify things. And does it need this many ingredients? Do they all add something to the drink? I do a lot of comparisons, but yeah. The paper reindeer. I don't have anything overly critical to say about that one. Apart from the relatively large list of ingredients, are they all there for a purpose? Yeah. Okay, that looks like V8 splash. Yeah, it looks like V8 juice. Does the nutmeg dissolve or do you chew through it? It just sat on top of the ice. Some of it will float into the drink. It's more so when you lift the drink to your nose, you get this really nice warming nutmeg aroma. This one actually looks great. Whiskey and cherry, always a winner for me. Okay, cocktail number 4. My previous screen's turned off. Bear with me. All right, cocktail number 4 was created by a gentleman named Oystein. I'm excited to try this one because it's featuring Aquavit, and I haven't really used Aquavit I haven't used it in a video on the channel at all. So, Norwegian. It's made with caraway seeds, and it has like a earthy, sweet anise note to it. It's matured undergoes a short maturation. It's only relatively lightly coloured. Yeah, I'm excited to try this one. And it also includes a date syrup, which, so Aquavit, so subtle, sweet anise, coffee liqueur, a bitter, not so sweet coffee liqueur being Mr. Black, a little bit of absinthe, adds a bit more anise and wormwood, date syrup to sweeten it up, and chocolate bitters. This is my latest batch of chocolate bitters that I've been making. I've mentioned it a few times in posts and stuff like that, but I'll be launching a chocolate bitters soon. So pumped for that. Very excited, and it's tasting freaking delicious. This particular chocolate bitters, cacao nibs, chicory, coffee, chipotle, chipotle being dried smoked jalapenos. It's not spicy. I don't want it to be a spiced chocolate bitters, but it just adds, and it's not overly smoky, but just adds more depth, and it's tasting good. So this one is shaken and strained. I feel like this could almost be stirred, more so like a old-fashioned, but it's shaken. Shaken into a Nicanora glass. Sorry guys. So, 45 ml of Norwegian Aquavit. Oystein specifically says don't use Danish or Swedish Aquavit, as they often have different botanicals in there. What did he say it was? I can't recall. Anyways, Genever is probably a closer bet. Otherwise, you could use like a dry gin. So 45 ml of Norwegian Aquavit. Aquavit, is that how you pronounce it? And then Mr. Black. Half an ounce. And then absinthe. Woo! Get my measuring spoons. I don't want to be too heavy-handed with this. So a bar spoon, 1 teaspoon. This particular one that I have, Myth, if that's yeah, it's like 69%. And I did a video ages ago featuring absinthe, and I used this in a whole bunch of cocktails, and it absolutely ruined me. I was not good the next day, and all the cocktails that I used, or I made, only had like bar spoons, half ounces, if that. Just, yeah, 69%. It's just a bit silly. Date syrup. So this is a 2-to-1 date syrup. I have 1/3 brown sugar, 2/3 white sugar, 2 parts to 1 part water, and also cooked in the dates as well. So 3/4 of an ounce. Yeah, I feel like this could be a stirred cocktail as long as you only put like a bar spoon of that in. Yeah, that's correct. 2 dashes of chocolate bitters. There we go. Just make sure I'm not misreading. Shake and strain into a Nicanora glass and garnish with a fresh date. Yeah, what do you guys think of the format? Do you like me roasting people's cocktails? Am I harsh enough? Am I too harsh? I'd probably say I'm not harsh enough. Alrighty. I didn't actually mention the name. This is Jorsalfar. I think that's how it's pronounced. And garnish with a fresh date. I've only got dried. Come on. Get a little bit of a slice. Coach Vino, if you're still on the call, you should definitely get yourself a milk jug rinsey for your cocktail shakers. Genius, love it. Okay, I'm not going to try and pronounce that one again, but that's submitted by Westin. Again, it's not the greatest looking colour. It's coming out murky brown, but that's with all Mr. Black cocktails. Not all of them, but a lot of them. When I hosted the Mr. Black challenge, like so many cocktails came out like this for that reason. Ooh. Plenty of anise. That's interesting. Like, for my palate, it's too sweet because you've got sugar in both these, and there isn't that acid to balance it out. So I think if this was more in a, like I said, in an old-fashioned format, like absinthe, rinse the glass, and then use these two in an old-fashioned, use the Mr. Black and the date syrup as the sweetener components. So perhaps like 1.5 ounces of aquavit, half an ounce of, like, still stick with the same proportions for the first couple of ingredients, lower the date syrup to 7.5 ml, maybe a bar spoon, which is 5 ml. Rinse the glass with absinthe, and then I think the chocolate, like you get more of the anise and the spice characteristics from the aquavit. But I think if you lower the date syrup, it'll drop that sweetness, dry it up a bit, and then let some of the chocolatey notes come through. It's not like outrageously sweet, it's just a little bit sweet for my palate. And I like the flavours though. I like the flavours. Cool. We are flying through it, guys. I'm going to jump into SuperPay and see if there's any donations come through. No donations come through yet so far, guys, except for the one that I did notice on YouTube. If anybody would like to make a donation, I would be forever grateful. It's a very important subject. Heart Support Australia. Okay. Or turn it into a coffee and date sazerac. Yeah, absolutely, Adam, for sure. That's where my head was kind of thinking. Next one is the Flaming Lemon. How many people we got on now? So I'm just flicking through tabs. 150 people. Damn. Thanks for tuning in, guys. The Flaming Lemon. This one's going to be fun. Flaming lemon. Obviously, something's going to be on fire. Got a bit of overproof rum. Some lemon juice. Limoncello. I've got Villamassa. I make my own limoncello, so I really should use it, but I don't have any here at the studio. Villamassa, this little bottle's quite old. It's kind of lost its cloudiness, but yeah. So we have a Blanco tequila, we have limoncello, lemon juice and lime juice, overproof rum. Didn't specify if it was a white or an aged overproof rum, so I'm just going to use Wray & Nephew. Jamaican, full flavoured, funky, 63%. It'll take over the cocktail. So shake and strain with ice, strain into an old-fashioned glass, float the rum. It didn't, looking at the instructions, it didn't actually say strain it into an old-fashioned glass over ice. It just said strain it into an old-fashioned glass. So I'm going to make an assumption that it's meant to be served over ice. That's another thing I discovered when people submit cocktails is a lot of people aren't clear on the instruction side of things. So they just kind of make these assumptions for... which means like you guys can actually see me trying the cocktails and you can see how I'm serving the drinks. But a lot of cocktail competitions, you'll submit a drink, they'll recreate it behind closed doors, and they could make it completely different to how you originally intended it, purely because you wrote your instructions not very well. Sorry guys. All right, Blanco tequila, 1 ounce, 30 ml. I'm using Carrera tequila. Company reached out to me, wanted to work with me, so I went to a bottle shop, bought a bottle, tasted it, liked it, said yes, I'm keen to work with you, and then they ghosted me and never got back to me. Limoncello, 1 ounce. So syrupy. Then we have half an ounce of lemon juice and half an ounce of lime juice. Yeah, I was kind of tempted to serve it as per the instructions, which means no ice. But I think it would just like make the cocktail come across worse than it actually is. Then we have half an ounce of simple syrup. So this person's thought about the ratio of acid to sugar, because they're only putting in half an ounce of simple, and you're getting the additional sweetness from the limoncello. So it should be balanced. Limoncello tequila sour so far. And give it a shake. Right, strained of ice. And then we're going to light it on fire. Wish I had a remote control to turn my lights off and show you the flames. Right, any comments, any feedback on the drink so far, guys? Rain Nephew is a good choice though. Personally, I like it. Rum Fire. There's a Rain Nephew shortage. Hope this cocktail isn't bad. Really? I was not aware. All right. Now here comes the final touch of this particular drink. I'm putting, first of all, in this order, following the instructions, rosemary garnish from my garden. Then we have, sorry, I realized the framing, I've like cut off my head in this. And we have 1 ounce of overproof rum. Sorry guys. Again, doesn't specify. So I'm just using Rare Nephew. Oh, that's 3 times that I've dropped something. And I haven't actually mentioned the video. For anyone that gets featured in this video, I will send you a cocktail book. Yeah, to show my gratitude for trusting me. Hopefully I don't crack my glass. I don't think that's going to light. If it was like sat in a lime hull, it would have, but Hope that's not too noisy, guys. All right, there you go. Imagine it's like, this is flickering flames going on right there. Tequila sour with limoncello and a overproof rum float. I'm going to mix that through because, I'll drink it as it's intended. Yep, that's pretty much straight overproof rum sitting on top. Burning in my belly. The Ray and Nephew just like obliterates the tequila that's in the drink as well. Overtakes it, like overshadows the limoncello as well. Like it's citrusy, but I mean it's because you've got lemon and lime in there, and it's just. Yeah. I think if you had a lime hull, put the Ray and Nephew in it, lit it that way, and then it's not going to sort of like spill into the drink, and it's not going to taint your tequila limoncello sour. And like OP rum and tequila, I would never. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I wouldn't put them together personally. That wasn't the rum supposed to burn off? Said Michael. Yes, it was, but it wasn't going to light up. And I had like a blowtorch on it. So that's why I was saying, like, if you had a better way to, if it was on pebble ice, then it would probably layer a little bit better. I don't flame a lot of cocktails. Maybe I need some practice. So that cocktail was the Flaming Lemon, and now we're moving on to the Lo-Fi, which is a variation of the Manhattan. Crafted in the fall in Virginia while I was trying to think up ways to use my first bottle of Montenegro. Notes of spicy, sweet, and bitter. Cool. Let's get into this one. Again, we have a few ingredients in this one. That's not all. So if China, a artichoke amaro, bitter liqueur, have bourbon whiskey, amaro Montenegro, another amaro that citrusy and floral, beautiful, an easy amaro for first timers. And we have sweet vermouth. The person said, Alexander, the submitter said, preferably Antica Capano. This is owned by the same company. Capano Antica formula is more vanilla forward. This is more like choc orange kind of notes to it. But they're both fantastic nonetheless. Then we have Ancho Reyes. So we have artichoke, citrus, whiskey, oak, sweet vermouth, chocolate, orange, poblano chilies, like smokiness chili. There's like so many flavors going on. And then we have orange bitters, and we have chocolate bitters. Where is my chocolate bitters? And my orange. Just hiding things to make my life more difficult. Add all ingredients in a mixing glass, add ice and stir, and strain into a Nicanora or rocks glass. I think especially if you're entering a cocktail competition, not that this is a competition, you need to be specific about how the drink is served, what the ingredients are. There was also a lot of submissions that said, use this or this, and it was like a completely different ingredient, or like this. You can serve it on the rock or up. But if you're submitting it to a competition, again, like I said, not this. This is not a comp. But if you're serving it to a comp, be specific. All right, let's do another check-in. The Ancho Reyes is the wild card. I agree, Vino. So we have, like, a favourite ingredient of mine. Make a Cynar Manhattan. That's delicious. So 1 ounce. So the first thing I think is, with the sweet components being, like, at the end of the day, the amaros, they're all liqueurs. So liqueurs contain sugar. You've got Cynar, Amaro Montenegro, you've got vermouth, you've got Ancho Reyes. You've got 4 ingredients that all contain sugar, and then you've got a bourbon whiskey with only 2/3 of an ounce. So I feel like you need more whiskey and then less of the other sweet components. This is just before tasting, by the way. This could knock my socks off. So 2/3 of an ounce of whiskey. I'm using Wild Turkey 101. Amaro Montenegro. Two-thirds of an ounce. Sweet vermouth. 2/3 of an ounce. Yeah, I definitely would have gone heavier on the whiskey. But again, drinks are subjective. Depends how you like your drinks. You might like it sweet. Therefore, this might be to your palate, suited to your palate. 1/4 ounce of Ancho Reyes. I think the Ancho Reyes has really kind of subtle chili, smoked chili kind of note to it. I think it gets lost very easily, especially competing against these other flavours. And you've got like Cynar, which is relatively bold. Then we've got 4 dashes of orange bitters. So I'm going to triple it. So for those that have just joined, this is the first episode of Roast My Cocktail. I'll do this on a regular basis, but also I'm doing this to show support for Heart Support Australia. I'm trying to raise some money. So if you guys care to make a donation, I would be massively appreciative. There's a link in the chat, the pinned comment, as well as in the description. If you have the means and if you would like to support it, I underwent heart surgery myself over 8 months ago, so it's incredibly important to me. If you made a donation, $5, $10, if you can, I would be thankful. Back to the drink. 2 dashes of chocolate bitters. See, I think actually looking at this, the Coqui di Torino would probably suit well, considering you've got the chocolate and the orange bitters. Those flavours would pair nicely and they amplify those particular notes. But in saying that, the Campagna Antica with the vanilla notes would work just as well. Okay, so we're up to cocktail number 7. This one's the Lo-Fi. Probably shouldn't stir this one too much because it's a little bit lower proof. A little bit. And as far as garnish goes, according to my notes, nothing. Could be wrong. I feel like I want to drop a maraschino cherry in it. I like the colour of it. I like the colour of Cynar and whiskey. The Cynar brings like this dark, rich, moody kind of colour to a drink. That looks good. Oh, yeah, it's like, You get that bitterness. I was expecting, it's quite sweet. It does have a fair bit of sugar in it. So personally, I would, like I said, bump up the whiskey and then use the Cynar, the Montenegro, sweet vermouth, Ancho Reyes as like accents. Because at the moment there is quite a bit of sugar content from all those liqueurs. In saying that, Ancho Reyes is pretty much lost in that. So I'd scrap that. Or if you want spice in it, I'd lean into it a little bit more and then lower the other ingredients. It's sweet, but the part that saves it is the fact that you've got that bitterness from the Cynar that sort of lingers and balances out the sweetness. Needs some tweaking, but and again, it's a cocktail where I think someone's been like, yeah, let's put as many ingredients and make complexity that way. Do it! Drop the cherry! I take it back, this is the most e-gullet cocktail so far. Too sweet, 2 ounces of bourbon would be more appropriate, said Nick. Yeah, I agree. Vino says I would use chili bitters. If anyone's in Australia, there's a company called Convict Bitters. Well, even if you're outside of Australia, Convict Bitters you can buy, you can still get it shipped to you. This is probably the best alternative to Angostura aromatic bitters that I've tried. I've probably got like 5 aromatic bitters and this is by far the best. The guy that makes it does like consults and makes bitters for other companies as well, but they're just about to release a Australian chili Hellfire bitters, and it's got some heat for sure. It's really good. I like it. Okay. Next one, Trinidad Sour meets a daiquiri. I like the sound of this. I like it. I like the sound of it, but I'm not looking forward to cleaning up my studio. Shit everywhere. I just cleaned it the other day. So we have overproof white Jamaican rum. Specific, I like it. Then Angostura bitters, orgeat, and lime juice, served in a Nick and Nora glass. That's my lime juice. If you've just tuned in, I'm using these hideous bottles because I just filmed a video creating an alternative to super juice. So basically, my lime juice, I used 3.5 limes to get half a litre of lime juice. And with my lemons, I used 2 lemons to get half a litre. So it's a great way to extend your shelf life and extend the yields of the citrus. Similar to super juice, but there's a couple of tweaks. And FYI, it's not my recipe. I'm just stealing someone else's recipe, but it's really good, and I thought it was worth sharing because I know citrus is crazy expensive sometimes. At the moment, the limes that I have right now cost me $29.95 a kilo, which is like $2.50 a lime. Outrage, outrage. All right, Trinidad. Also, the #1 most misspelled cocktail in my cocktail app, where I have about 25,000 users, is daiquiri. Everyone wants to spell it D-A-Q instead of D-A-I-Q. So there's so many people in my app looking for a daiquiri and they can't find it because they can't spell. All right, equal parts overproof rum. Oh, that was a little bit shy. OP, put a little bit more in. 3/4 of an ounce. Yes, I could take the top off, but I'm going to just dash it. 3/4 of an ounce of Angostura. This, especially in Australia, this is an expensive cocktail. Lime juice. Can someone remind me the specs of a Trinidad sour in the comments? 3/4 of an ounce of orgeat, almond syrup. This one's by Liber & Co. I use it on the channel often. I love their syrups. Lime syrup, lime juice. Fake lime juice. 3/4 of an ounce. Ice and shake for 10 to 12 seconds. The 10 to 12 seconds being the ideal time. The drink is not going to get much colder. You've got the ideal amount of dilution, as long as you agitate the ice from end to end in the cocktail shaker. Oh, that colour. That colour is ridiculous. Nathan, thank you for the donation for the Heart Support Australia Foundation. Oh, you've done another donation through SuperPay. Thank you, appreciate it. Very, very, very grateful. Oh, that looks intense. Very, very intense. Sorry guys, do a bit of cleanup. This cough is doing my head in. Yeah, if in case I've missed anyone's, super chats, donations, important comments, I apologise, trying to just keep up. Oh wow, okay, cool. Thank you so much, guys. This is amazing. There's like a whole bunch of donations have just come through for Heart Support Australia. There's, holy shit, Jacob. Thank you. That's $100 US. That's incredible. Yeah, there's like 10 plus donations that have come through. 150 euro, Porik. Like, that's amazing. This is incredible. Thank you, guys. I really, really appreciate it. You're going to make me cry. You're going to make me tear up. All right, thank you, Cleo. So I asked before what the specs were for the Trinidad Sour. So it is 1.5 ounces of Angostura bitters, 1/2 ounce of rye whiskey, 3/4 ounce lemon juice, and 1 ounce of orgeat with a lemon twist. So this is just, instead of whiskey, it's just, it looks so thick. Yep, looks very, very thick. Looks like a meal. If only I could get a closer shot for you guys. I'm pleasantly surprised and I'm worried at the same time because that's a really strong drink and it doesn't taste like it at all. Does not taste like you've got Reindeer in there. So 63%, Angostura is 44.7. That's smooth. It's smooth and it's balanced. Loads and loads of spice in there from the bitters, the Angostura. Clove, nutmeg, cinnamon. I enjoy that. That's good. It's clever. Still get some of that like funkiness from the Wray and Nephew. If you use a whiskey, you're going to add more spice to it, but you've already got plenty of spice from the Angostura, a different kind of spice. But so I don't know if you guys can see. It's like it's crazy. It's murky. Yeah, that's I like that. Thank you, Taylor, for submitting that one. Best one so far. Rusty Bartender. Thank you for joining. Everyone that is on the chat right now, Rusty Bartender on YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel and he has a copy of my book and he's recreating every single cocktail. Can't recall what number he's up to, but yeah, if you enjoy cocktails, go follow the Rusty Bartender on YouTube. And of course, the Progress Bar, Vino's on the channel, on the chat right now. Gnome's Cocktail Bar. There's a few other YouTubers and YouTube channels. The Spirit of the Cocktail, Tim's on here. All good channels that you guys should definitely go subscribe to. All right, let's have a check. Holy shit, we've got 170 people on. People still want to watch. Thank you. All right, back to the recipes. Number 9 we're on to is the Event Horizon. Starts off really great. Then it doesn't go to shit, but I feel like it starts off good and then it's not so good. So we have rye whiskey, Benedictine, where is my Benedictine? On the shelf. My all-time favourite liqueur, herbal, spiced, freaking tasty. See, like this, I'm like, ooh, I like where it's going. Then we have creme de violet, I'm like, uh-oh, what's happening? And lemon juice, equal part cocktail, 3/4 ounce across the board, shaken, strained and served into a Nicanor glass. And garnished with maraschino cherries. Right. I'm not sponsored to say it, but if you guys are looking for barware, a bar above, their cocktail tins. I previously had a barware store, and I prefer their tins, a bar above. And their jigger as well. It's the one that has the most inner markings, so you can measure finer measurements. Yeah, thank you again, guys, for the people that have made donations. That's huge. A couple of big ones. I'm incredibly thankful. 3/4 of an ounce of rye whiskey, and they specifically called for Rittenhouse rye, which I think is like probably the only rye that I've used on the channel. And I'm almost out. So if you guys have any suggestions for a rye whiskey, let me know in the comments below. 3/4 of an ounce of Benedictine. It's a lot of Benedictine, but I'm not going to complain because I love it. Where I am going to complain is the amount of violet liqueur. I'm using Bitter Truth. I have 3 different violet liqueurs. The other 2 are ancient and they're not pretty. Bitter Truth is one it is relatively old, this particular bottle, but it's the one that's retained the most colour as well and flavour. So 3/4 of an ounce, which is a lot of violet liqueur. And you know, you've got a somewhat spicy whiskey, and you've got like a honeyed herbal liqueur. Then to go with floral, like, I don't know. It could work really well. If you guys do want a floral cocktail. So I recently did the top 20 gin cocktails. I filmed that. It's not on the channel yet. I'll be publishing that in the next couple of weeks. Aviation ranked up really high. It was okay, but I'm not a huge fan. The Water Lily, that is a great cocktail. You should definitely jump on that. Sorry guys, I'm talking too much. My throat's drying up. So equal parts. This is the kind of cocktail that I like. Nice and easy. Yeah, any rye whiskey suggestions? Old Overholt. I'm not sure if I can get it in Australia. I'll have to find out. That's the only thing with ryes and bourbon. We don't have as much available in Australia, that is. Bit of a short shake, but. I'm coughing a lot, and I really hope it's not incredibly loud and annoying. So chilled Nora glass. I feel like this one would surprise you, let alone myself. Not sure if you're talking about a whiskey that was in the comments, Victino, or if you're talking about the cocktail. Can't keep up. Rye, honey, lemon for your throat, Steve. Yeah, I should make myself a penicillin. Fix me right up. Whoa! Look at that colour. That colour alone is a sign that there's too much violet liqueur in there. Oh man, that's a lot of violet liqueur. Like half an ounce max, I think. Maybe a quarter ounce, maybe a third of an ounce. But 3/4 of an ounce is a lot. But who knows, maybe the stronger flavours of everything else could make it work. All right. The Event Horizon. On camera, it looks even darker. Definitely not as bad as what I was anticipating. Like I said, the kind of herbal, stronger spice characteristics kind of subdue and they quash that floral note. I'm pleasantly surprised. Is it the greatest cocktail I've tried? No. Is it as bad as what I was thinking it was going to be? Absolutely not. No way. That's interesting, and I'm surprised by that. All right, guys. Sagamore. I've seen Sagamore, their spirits and their whiskies a lot online, but it's not available here in Australia. Roast it for real. Go ahead and toss that one in the sink. Oh, Kyle, that was, ouch. It was actually not as bad. I'm gonna taste it again. A lot of people are critical about it. I was critical in my head when I was putting this list together, and it's probably part of the reason why I chose it, because I wanted to pick cocktails. Not all of them were bad from this list, but there was a couple that I was like, this definitely needs roasting. Yeah, believe it guys, not as bad as what you would expect. Right, this one here, Currently Cloudy. I love the name because currently is spelt C-U-R-R-A-N-T-L-Y. Currently, currants, get it? Because of the ingredients. All right, so we have gin. I'll use this fantastic gin sitting here, which is by a company called Threefold Distilling. I happen to be a partner in the business. Just some casual promotion there. Creme de cassis and peach liqueur, apple juice, and rich syrup. I'm using a semi-rich syrup. Just using store-bought Nippy's apple juice. Nippy's is the brand in Australia. It's made from mostly fresh apples, but it's reconstituted apples as well. Didn't specify if it was like just fresh pressed, cold pressed apples or anything like that, but I suspect that the apple juice is not going to make or break this cocktail. I'm sorry if that sounds harsh. Quote, a gin-based cocktail with the perfect amount of sweetness. It sounds very, very sweet. So we've got a cassis, which is very sweet, peach liqueur, which is very sweet, apple juice, which is sweet with a little bit of acidity, and then we have sugar, which is sweet. So this is going to be a sweet cocktail. There's not a lot of acid. There's very minimal acid to balance it out. In saying this, the original recipe does call for peach schnapps. In a lot of countries, peach schnapps is like a peach liqueur, but over in Europe, peach schnapps is like a high proof, no sugar or minimal sugar spirit that is just made from peaches. But the person who created this cocktail specifically said, so the original recipe calls for 5 ml, 1 bar spoon of peach schnapps. If you don't have the drier version and you're going to use a sweeter version being peach liqueur, use more. So use more sugar, which was kind of a little bit backwards to me, but let's make it. 45 ml. I keep looking at the camera now and I'm really annoyed that I've cut my head off. 45 ml, 1.5 ounces of dry gin. I'm really curious to how many people are still 165, 168. Thank you guys. I'm very happy that you're interested in watching, and also that a whole bunch of people have donated for Heart Support Australia. Again, I know it feels like I'm being really repetitive, but I know some people have probably just joined. So there's a link in the pinned comment, link in the description, if you would like to make a donation to Heart Support Australia. I underwent open heart surgery myself 8 months ago. Massive ordeal. I'm literally still going through recovery. So it's really important to me to try and support and raise funds for a heart-related charity. So if you could, I'd be massively appreciative if you could donate. Next ingredient, cassis, half an ounce. Like you can see how much sugar is, when I poured it, you can see how much sugar it is. It's viscous. And we've got 7.5 ml, 1/4 ounce of peach liqueur, creme de peach. If it's a creme, it actually means that it's got over, don't quote me on this, but it's like a specific number. It's over 400 grams of sugar or something like that. So if it's a creme, it means it's got a lot of sugar. So this feels like it's going to be really sweet, with not a lot to balance it out. 1 ounce of apple juice, only the finest apple juice. And then 1/4 ounce of rich syrup, so a 2 to 1. I'm being very sneaky, I'm using a semi-rich syrup, so I'm going to drop the sugar a tiny bit. Shake fine strain into a coupe and garnish with a apple slice. Alright guys, I think if you guys want an encore, this is cocktail number 10. If you want an encore, give me a thumbs up. I do have two, maybe three more cocktails that I can do, but I want to see like a gazillion thumbs up, and I will continue on. Alright, double strain into a chilled coupe. Ooh. First I was like, oh, that's a nice pink colour, but that's a bit murky, it's from that cassis. So garnish is intended to be a slice of apple. I don't have any apple in the studio, so I do have some upstairs in the house, but that's too far away. So we're going to... Oh shit! That's a lot of thumbs up. All right. Right guys, looks like I'm going to... Absolutely anything to see you drink at 12 in the afternoon, Steve. Porrick, in saying that, I do not drink a lot. The only drinking that I do is tastings in these videos. FYI, and that's purely because of the heart surgery that I've undergone. I don't drink outside of these videos, so I don't catch up with friends and go for a beer. If I go for dinner, I don't have a glass of wine. The only time I drink is doing tastings, and I don't drink the full cocktails. I must admit that. Yeah, there you go. You said a gazillion. Yeah, there's a gazillion thumbs up, so I'm going to make a few more cocktails. Come on, Steve. It's almost 10 p.m. East Coast. Let's keep this night rolling. All right. I'll do a few more cocktails for you. But, here we go. Here's the clinch. I have a favour to ask. If you have a spare $5 to donate to Heart Support Australia, I'm going to go no matter what, but if you happen to donate $5 to Heart Support Australia, then yeah, I'll be grateful. But there you go. There's the currently cloudy gin, creme de cassis, peach schnapps, apple juice, and sugar. It just... Like, you can read things on paper and then you can just kind of predict that this is going to be overly sweet because it's got sugar, like I said before, sugar. It just needs something to balance it out. If you had some lemon juice in there, it would balance it out. It would make it a much more pleasant cocktail, and it wouldn't take a lot. Based on half an ounce of creme de cassis and a little bit of peach schnapps, like probably, and the simple syrup, sorry, probably half an ounce, maybe 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, and it would balance this out. When you've got a really nice peach flavour to it. That peach flavour is strong. But it needs acid. Needs acid, for 100%, for sure. All right. Do you guys want to see an amaretto drink or a peanut butter whiskey drink? Let me know. Amaretto, peanut butter whiskey. Put your votes in. Alright guys. Bear with me 2 seconds guys, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I just had a mini coughing fit. All right, the votes. Peanut butter, amaretto. Screwball whiskey is an abomination. Rocket Man, for that reason, because you've said it, it's a roast. This video. So therefore, I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump straight to the peanut butter cup old fashioned. Everyone can thank Rocket Man. 18 in Hebrew also means life. That's why the Hebrew cheer is lacham, to life. That's what I donated. So instead of $5 or $10, how about $18? Karen, thank you very much. Thank you, Karen. You're amazing. And whilst everyone here is here, I'll quickly do a refresh. Yes. Thank you guys. Oh, more donations have come through. Scott with $100 US. That's freaking amazing. As a $5, $20, $10. Laurie, Rashid, Michael, Scott, Doug, Matthew, Alexander, Cara, Matthew, Porik. Thank you guys so much for donating. This is I'm very, very thankful. And I'll be talking with the CEO of the company and being fully transparent. Yes. Sorry guys, this means a lot. It's very important. All right, so we're doing the peanut butter cup old fashioned. It's a stirred cocktail, sugar and bitters muddled in the mixing glass. Specifically calls for sugar cube, but I don't have that. I don't have any sugar cubes, so thankfully I have a bottle of Screwball because Peter Patrician, who is a long-time follower of the channel, member of the Facebook group, and also he owns a bitters company. He produces orange bitters, coffee and pecan bitters is absolutely banging. Celery bitters, does a whole range of bitters, and he sent me Screwball because I made his winning cocktail to the Educated Barflies Screwball competition. 3 dashes of chocolate bitters. This one's my bitters. And then we have chocolate to garnish, microplane over the top, and stir and strain of ice. It's old fashioned, so I'll get a big cube. Again, I'm not going far guys, just grabbing a nice cube. Right, not necessary, but going to chill down my mixing glass a little with the minuscule amount of ice. Just a slight chill. This is a really thick, heavy mixing glass, so I want to chill it down a bit. All right. 2 ounces of Screwball. Just doing a runner. Making sure my camera's still on. 2 ounces of screwball or sheepdog. I actually thought sheepdog was just an Australian product, and it's just essentially a peanut butter whiskey, but an inferior version of screwball. In saying that, screwball is like, some people love it. It's not actually available in here Australia. Some people love it, but some people loathe it, as I noticed in the comments already. There's a fair bit of sugar, but you can't deny that there's a lot of peanut butter flavour in that. And peanut butter goes with chocolate. The recipe calls for 3 dashes of chocolate bitters. Make sure you use only the best chocolate bitters. 1 dash, 2 dashes. Hey Vino, can I send you some bitters? I would love to do that. 1 sugar cube. So one sugar cube is 1 teaspoon. That's it. Nice and easy. Oh, peanut butter and chocolate. Come on, this sounds good. Now I know that it is sweet, so I almost feel like it doesn't need the addition of the simple syrup. You could pretty much make an old-fashioned with screwball and chocolate bitters. But in saying this, I haven't tried this for a long time. I haven't tried screwball for 6+ months. But if I was to make this, I would probably pair the screwball with a stronger whiskey, either a rye, which has some spice to it, or a stronger proof bourbon, something that's like 50%, rather than just use all screwball because it's sweet. Let's do a tasting live on cam, guys. A little bit more. Like the peanut butter nose to it is really strong, and it makes me wonder. It does say with natural flavors, but I wonder how they get that flavor in there because it's really pungent. Yes. So it sits at 35%. I figure the other 10% is sugar. Doesn't have a lot of proof to it, so I'm not going to stir that for very long. Vino, I'll message you and get your address, and I will send you some bitters. I feel like this could, even though it's a chocolate peanut butter old fashioned, I would still instinctively express some orange oils on this. So it calls for some chocolate, and it, yeah, someone was talking about I'd wash 100 proof whiskey with peanut butter. Yeah, 100%. I'd do that instead. Someone else said use Demerara. Yes, perfect. Instead of using a sweetened whiskey, fat wash your own whiskey with peanut butter. Use a high proof whiskey. Instead of using a simple syrup, use a Demerara. Use a brown sugar. Use something that's richer and got more flavour. Something without the sugar, as far as the whiskey goes. You can always add the sugar in. Garnish with, I think it was a sweet chocolate that was in the original recipe, and I'm taking it upon myself to to use a Lindt 90% dark chocolate. I don't need more sweetness in my old fashioned. And apparently dark chocolate is good for your heart. So that's what I eat these days. Dark chocolate. Really, really dark. Like 90%, 95%. Bitter as hell. It's delicious. I mean, the nose to it is sweet, peanut butter, chocolatey. Yeah, it's too sweet for an old fashioned. Like the flavors, okay, not great. And it's purely because of the ingredients used. It's not because of the inspiration. It's not because of the peanut butter, chocolate flavor combination. I would just, like people said in the comments, change the screwball, fat wash your own whiskey, use a good quality whiskey, and then change your syrup over to a demerara. And this would be be 10 times better, and you'd also have more control over the sweetness. Like I said, concept is good, just needs refining. 95% bitter as hell, also the story of my life. Okay. I've got two cocktails on my list that I can still go with. 180 people still tuned in. It still surprises me that you guys, people want to watch me. I appreciate it. All right, a kiss goodbye. This drink reminds me of how bittersweet a kiss goodbye can be. Thank you for your submission, Nick. I love the description. So we've got mezcal, Aperol, Mr. Black, lemon juice. I mentioned that Carrera Tequila got in touch. They wanted to work with me. They ghosted me. There's actually another company, La Luna Mezcal. I had many conversations with this company, and they sent me 6 different bottles of mezcal, all made in the same manner, like the same style, but using different agave varietals. Like, it was, to me, when I received these bottles, it was mind-blowing that I could sit there. The production process was the same, but it was just purely different agave from different regions, and the taste difference in these mezcals was huge, and it was a really cool learning experience for me. But I was going to work with them, and then again, they ghosted me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with brands, but obviously something not right. Shaking all ingredients with 1 large cube and a cheetah cube until the cheetah cube has dissolved in single strain to preserve the foam. Zest the lemon peel over the top, over the foam, and discard in a chilled coupe. All right, I should follow instructions. I'll get a large cube. Right, large cube, equal parts, love it, 3/4 ounce of mezcal, 3/4 ounce of Mr. Black, great coffee liqueur, 3/4 ounce of Aperol, and 3/4 ounce of lemon juice. Fake lemon juice. I'm really excited to hit publish on that video. I did a side-by-side tasting with fake lime juice, and I got it wrong. Likewise with the lemon juice. So I made a daiquiri and I made a gin sour using the fake juices. I couldn't pick which one was which, and I actually preferred, in a blind tasting, I preferred the fake ones. So it's definitely worth watching. And from now on, I will be using these juices instead of fresh. Because I freaking love the environment, and I always try and do everything I can, but the one thing I haven't done is changed over my citrus. I've always used fresh citrus, but it'll change from now on. Colour's not going to be its strong point, that's for sure. All right, lemon peel for garnish. Double strain into a chilled coupe. There's been quite a few cocktails that presentation has not been its strong point. Express the lemon peel and discard. Lemon peel and coffee liqueur or coffee go fantastically well together. If you love your espresso martinis, try expressing a little bit of lemon peel into your espresso martini. Game changer. All right, game changer is strong thing to say. Strong words. I think it will make a better espresso martini. Maybe not game changing, but they have a Kiss Goodbye by Nick. Cheers. It works. It might be because I've had sips from a whole bunch of cocktails beforehand. But it works. It's citrusy, but it's got that coffee note. Little bit of, like, the coffee note is the strongest point. Weird to say, but the mezcal is a little bit hidden. It's not as pungent and vegetal and smoky and fruity as it usually is, because it's kind of dominated by the Mr. Black, the coffee liqueur. But in saying that, 3/4 ounce of coffee liqueur, Mr. Black, is quite a lot. I'm going to... This one intrigues me, so I'm going to make another version of it. Because the coffee is strong, this could end up horribly. Because the coffee is strong, I feel like it could stand up to Campari instead of the Aperol. So, still equal parts. This is going to make for a hideous looking drink, by the way. Right, I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. Are you guys over me yet? This drink is going to be ugly. It's so ugly. Like I've still got those coffee notes lingering in my mouth because there needs to be something else just to stand up to it, I feel. Just thought of this moment. That's happened quite a few times when I've hosted like cocktail classes, and it's clearly the first time someone's ever made a cocktail, and they grab, where's a glass? They've never made a cocktail before. They've shaken the cocktail, they pull it apart, and they go, not sure what to do. And they put the strainer, they've got a tin full of drink, full of ice, and they pour it over the top. Ice and drink goes fucking everywhere. It's happened on multiple occasions. I'm like, how did you think that was going to end up? Have you never seen a drink being made before? Have you never consumed a drink at a bar? But it's happened so many times. And I find it entertaining every time I see it. Jess, Savage Kitchen, we've gone from encore to riffing. Here for it. All right. Same as before, same recipe, a kiss goodbye, equal parts, but Campari instead of Aperol. Weird. Like, actually revisiting it, going from that to that, I do get a lot more smoke. It's more apparent coming now, the second time around. That's more bitter, drier, lingers longer. I should have a palate cleanser in between, I know. Now that I'm revisiting it, that mezcal is coming through way more, heaps more smoke. That's a little bit brighter, a little bit sweeter, drier, more lingering bitterness. Tough call to say which one I prefer more. Right, guys, I think 200 people watching. I think I've got probably one more cocktail left in me, which is literally the last one in the list that I had prepared. If I go further than that, I'll probably be missing some ingredients and syrups and whatnot. So this one here is called the Don. Last one today, guys, I believe. I've been on here for two hours. Surely you guys are bored of me. And again, thank you, huge thank you for the donations that people have made. I'm incredibly grateful. I'll be ecstatic to be able to get in touch with the CEO and say, this is how much we raised. And I'll, as I said before, I will make a post about it, let you guys know, do screenshots, all that kind of stuff to make sure there's a lot of transparency. It's, I was going to say it's close to my heart, like this charity. And it literally is, because it's related to open heart surgery that I had. So thank you. Thank you guys. All right, the Don. I called it the Don after the Godfather, with the main ingredient being Italian, amaretto. I feel like the naming of this cocktail is quite a bit of not a stretch, but it's literally like It's that one ingredient. So it's Italian, the Don. Let's do it. It's just like an easy name. I always find naming a cocktail to be one of the hardest parts. Specifically calls for Disaronno. I did an amaretto sour comparison, and I much prefer Luxardo, more spice driven, and that's mainly because Disaronno in Australia is lower ABV, as I mentioned earlier. Cherry brandy. I don't have a cherry brandy. I have Cherry Heering. A little bit different, but it will be a decent substitute in this video. Orange bitters and egg white. I'm not going to use egg white. I'm over the mess of egg white. Just like Miss Better Bitters, Miraculous Foamer. Prefer to use that now. Same result, less mess. Okay, that's a lot of amaretto. I've done an amaretto sour video on the channel where you cut back the amount of amaretto. So I believe back in the day, like the 80s version of the amaretto sour was amaretto, lemon juice, egg white. So you don't need to have any sugar syrup, simple syrup, because the lemon juice balances out the Disaronno, which has a lot of sweetness to it itself. The video that I've done is the Jeffrey Morgenthaler method, where you use a cask strength bourbon to bolster it. Much better. So already I'm thinking this is going to be very sweet. If you simply split the Disaronno with a whiskey, you still get that marzipan, almondy kind of flavour to it, but you'd have some proof to not be such a sweet cocktail. So let's get into it. But in saying that, someone says cherry brandy. Cherry brandy can mean two different things depending on where you are. Cherry brandy can often mean a cherry liqueur, but if you're in Europe, I believe it's probably going to be more of like a cherry spirit. So in saying that, they've said preferably De Kuyper, which is a liqueur. 60 ml amaretto. I'm waffling too much. I've had way too many sips of cocktails. Then 3/4 of an ounce of cherry liqueur. Cherry brandy. Orange juice. I'm not a big fan of orange juice in cocktails. There hasn't been many cocktails that I've tried that I've enjoyed with orange juice. And I'm using only the finest, fresh, cold-pressed orange juice from a bottle. It's just unsweetened orange juice. And 3 ounces. It's a lot of juice. Orange bitters. Doesn't specify. Just says orange bitters. Might mean 1 dash, might mean 2. I don't know. Then egg white. As I said, Miss Better Bitters. I don't usually like to dry shake with Miss Better Bitters. I don't think you need to. Dry shake, then wet shake. Okay. Immediately afterwards, I read the instructions. Dry shake, straight into a martini glass, add an orange slice and spray with orange bitters. Maybe I should have read the instructions first. I don't have any martini glasses. I don't like them. All right. I feel like this is going to need a sizable glass. So if you're like me and you've forgotten to chill a glass, just simply add some cubes, give it a spin. It's going to chill down pretty quickly. Double strain into that chilled coupe. It's on theme today. It's brown. Right. It's called the Don. Thank you, David, for your submission. Amaretto, cherry brandy, orange juice, orange bitters, egg white. I'm using an egg white replacement. It's got a nice foam to it. It looks not quite nice. It looks textural, but it looks brown, and it's going to be sweet. All right, here we go. Sorry, garnish was orange slice and spray of bitters, but I incorporated the bitters into the drink. Orange slice. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't want to waste an entire orange to cut a slice to put on the side of the glass because I'm about to call it a day. The Don. I immediately, like, as soon as I bring it to my face, amaretto, marzipan, those nutty notes. I mean, it is and then you get the cherry notes as well. Like, it is a sweet cocktail. But, like, considering that like 30% of the submissions for today's cocktails were all sweeter cocktails, to me they seemed unbalanced. Obviously, there's a lot of palates out there. There's a lot of people out there that like sweet drinks. And if you're one of those people, then you'll probably like this. If you like amaretto and you like sweet drinks, this will be your jam. Low ABV, like the orange juice extends it. You've got a full 3 ounces in there. I'm getting to the tail, like I 100% would like to try this. Should I do another riff, guys? Give me a thumbs up if you want to see me do a very, very quick riff and dry the cocktail up, add some whiskey, use some less orange juice. And then after that, I really should call it a day. I've made 10 cocktails. Thank you, Ryan, Justin, Karina, Junis, Jamie, for the additional donations. Hugely appreciated. All right, let's go into the chat. Oh no, thumbs are coming through. Also, what did you guys think of the format? I want to see pineapple emojis. If you like, I'm going to do another episode no matter what. I've got so many submissions that I'd like to run through. Give me a pineapple emoji if you want to see another episode. Thumbs, thumbs, thumbs. So I'm trying to find 180 people still. All right, let's recreate the Don. Dun, dun, dun. Then this is my absolute last cocktail. It's a Sunday. It's like midday for me. It's family day. You guys in America are about to call it a night. The day's just getting started. pineapple emojis. Thank you guys. I'm glad you enjoyed the format. Glad you enjoyed me giving roasting. Was I harsh enough? Do I need to be harsher? Was I too harsh? I don't know. I very much doubt I was too harsh. Okay. Remaking of this version. I'm going to either do the shock value of seeing bad cocktails is kind of fun, but really seeing good cocktails is more useful. I agree, Doug, but I felt like especially for this first one, I'm not saying that every drink was bad, but I wanted to bring some bad drinks to the table to be, I think it was a little bit more entertaining. I felt like there was some more entertainment value. But in future episodes of doing this, I think I'll do 50-50. So I'll do 50% of cocktails that I think really need feedback and 50% of cocktails that I think are great or would appeal to my palate. Bad drinks are fun. Definitely need to be harsher. Yeah, I know what you mean, Doug, but I feel like I'll future episodes, this is just the initial one, future ones will have more of a balance between good and bad. All right, this one here. Let's get I've only got one cask strength whiskey, which I need to find, which is, I'm going to get accosted for using this because last time I used it, I used an amaretto sour. It's the only cask strength whiskey I have. It's the Fiddler Georgia Heartwood, sitting at 58%. Yeah, people were quite annoyed at the fact that I used a somewhat expensive bourbon with amaretto. I apologise. So I'm simply going to split the base between cask strength bourbon, amaretto. I'll lower the cherry brandy to half an ounce. I'll halve the orange juice. Keep in mind this is like a first iteration. So if I was making a cocktail, if I was trying to be creative, iterate multiple times. Do the same cocktail, rinse and repeat. So, 1 ounce cask strength. And actually, I'm going to change over the Disaronno because it's so weak here in Australia. Bloody Australian taxes, am I right? Feel really weird being off camera and still talking to you guys. Luxardo. I feel like I'm actually just going into the Jeffrey Morgenthaler amaretto sour recipe, but still, I guess that's the instinct that I'm going to go with, so see how it goes. Half an ounce, 1 ounce of cask strength whiskey, 1 ounce of amaretto, half ounce of Cherry Heering. I'd probably omit the orange juice. I'd go a completely different angle, but if I'm sticking with the same ingredients, I'd go halve the orange juice, 1.5 ounces. Orange bitters was a spray, but I'll still incorporate it into the drink. Give it a cheeky dry shake. And then reshake with ice for 10 to 12 seconds. Jess from Savage Kitchen, if you are still on the live stream, I'm actually waiting for my official invite to Thanksgiving dinner. Just a self-invite. All right. Let's compare the two. It's still going to be, there's a tiny bit more in the shaker. It's a pretty large volume drink. All right, guys, this is the last one of the day. I should call it. Before I do a tasting, I'm going to do that last call. I've repeated it 3 or 4 times. If you're willing to, if you have the means to do so, and you would like to donate to Heart Support Australia, there's a link in the pinned comment as well as in the description below. I'll be massively appreciative. Underwent heart surgery myself 8 months ago. Huge ordeal. Heart Support Australia supports post-operative patients and ensures that they don't have secondary cardiac events. So, yes, plenty of people have already donated, and I'm very, very thankful. Some people that are donating like 150 euros, which is mind-blowing. I wasn't expecting that. Very thankful. Very, very thankful. Don't know what else to say. Jess, consider this your official invite, but the condition is you have to make the first round of cocktails. Okay. Done. All right, let's go to the original version of the Don. The Don. Amaretto in your face. Amaretto is more subdued. This is like, I haven't even sipped it now, and I can smell the sugar. Exactly as I said before, if you're a sweet tooth, if you like amaretto, like, yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's not right either. It's definitely drier, but I still would like to get rid of the orange juice. And naturally, I would turn this more into a sour. If I was going to use the orange juice, I'd acid modify. I'd add some citric acid into it, bring up the acid profile of this particular drink. Then it just brings it more into a amaretto sour territory, and it's pretty much the same as Jeffrey Morgenthal's recipe, but with the addition of Cherry Heering. But that's how my mind would work. If you're watching, don't try this version, it's pretty shit. But yeah. I'd finish drinking that as opposed to this one, but that just needs the acid. This is just, it's really sweet, but yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in today's live stream. I really appreciate everyone that has made a donation. I really appreciate the people who have just stuck in this long and watched the video, watched the live stream. 170 people still streaming. I'm really looking forward to going through all the comments. I don't know what else to say, but thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for donating. Bar OJ with eggs equals amazing. OJ with booze equals nope. OJ with eggs? Sorry, Vino? What? Please elaborate. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Fastest 2 hours this week. Breakfast is so much fun. Let me see. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I will schedule in another live stream. If you haven't submitted a video, or even if you have and you just want to submit another one, I'll share links on social media, the Facebook group, on YouTube, all that kind of jazz. So I know there's a couple of posts on the YouTube community tab if you want to submit another cocktail. Like I said, there was a little bit more of a sway towards cocktails that I didn't think I would like. Where this next live stream will be more even. So yeah, maybe throw a curveball at me. See how that goes. Thank you guys, and I will see you soon. Cheers.